Hey, 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 welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Check this ish out with Ash and Tam. I'm Ash.
And I'm Tam.
You was almost about to, bust out a rhyme.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tam from the A state.
Kicking it all day. Hey, hey. Hey, y'all. Look, we tried.
She just messed it up. I just like you can.
Well, it was whack from the jump. So I tried to spice it up.
Oh, okay. I was wrong.
Yeah.
You spiced me. Okay. Gotcha.
All right, y'all. So
Michelle don't know her place.
Michelle, oh, she thinks she's Beyonce. I told her she thinks she's Beyonce.
Chocolate Beyonce.
All right. So because of some of the ways that Tam and I have been approached by men, I mean, some of them have been very, very entertaining, hilarious.
I think majority of them have. Yeah, majority.
Right, but have any of them worked in the guy's favor?
One.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess somebody doing something right. All right.
That one guy did.
That one guy did, huh?
I would have passed several months.
I would have passed several months.
Yeah,
okay.
not like years ago. These just like recent.
Right. It's something about the way men are approaching women, if they even have the gall to approach.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about that because we thought it was hilarious.
And then it kind of tie into the question that we got in our DM.
Yes, a listener. And this is actually, we apologize because this has been in our DM for some time now. And we're just now getting around to answering it. Look, y'all, we really try.
I guess we just pick and choose what person we're gonna open up the
message. Yeah.
Most of the time it'd be like, hey, how you doing? And I'm like, So
right. Yeah.
I'm start off with, hey, how you doing? Especially if you're a guy.
But that's not to say we do not want y'all sending us messages to our Facebook.
I'm like real blunt, like just get straight to the point.
Yeah, that's a whole other topic.
It's a whole other topic. But actually kind of like ties into this conversation too.
About being blunt?
A bit about being approached.
Yeah, right, it does. So moving on.
Yeah, tell them about the DM.
Yeah. So the DM, basically the topic is being ghosted. I think I waited until I was a super grown woman to get ghosted. I have to admit, I've been ghosted before once. So when I was preparing, actually, I just wanted to see what was out there in the internet world, as far as being ghosted and why men do it.
Dang.
I did
why
find
men and women do it.
Well, yeah, women do it too.
Because I'm ghosted up.
So sometimes I think karma will come back to bite you. So it says 76%. I don't know how accurate, this percentage is.
Some article
I like to have something to back me up or
keep your hands gestures in your space.
Look, they is in my space.
You were all
look, I said they is. I said they are in my space. My shoulders are here.
I've been so if I'm staying with for so long, I didn't even notice it.
Girl. So anyway, 76% of people will get ghosted. So to answer the question, there wasn't a question in our DM.
You might get ghosted, buddy.
Don't be speaking that on me.
I ain't saying you. I'm just talking in general.
Hopefully, I date people around my age range or a little older. So hopefully, ain't no grown age person not gonna be able to tell me, like a grown person that this ain't working out or your breath stank or something. Okay, yeah. No. She don't put that on me. Trying to put her look on me. I'm just joking, y'all. Yeah. But so the question, the statement was she thought she had gotten ghosted. And so what we plan to do, y'all, is to call people while we're on the show live and ask them why men ghost. So we think that it's going to be fun if we can get someone on the line.
Yeah. Okay. So just to put this out there, we are not relationship experts. We don't consider ourselves to be a relationship expert. We just like to have fun and just like pick people's brain and see what they're thinking about. And,
this is kind of like an outlet for me, after having a busy day, let's have fun.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. So starting off,
I'm going to call somebody.
We're going to keep it anonymous. Or do you want to talk about the way these men are approaching women nowadays first?
Yeah, let's start with that. So let me give some people some heads up. I'm just
Okay,
gonna send some
so
emails.
we're starting off with the first topic. The way some men approach women. Now I will say there's nothing like, being approached direct on, from a man, I think today with so much access, so much online, it's easy to kind of get out away from the traditional approach, approaching a woman. So jumping to the last time I was approached by a man, which was a couple of days ago, I was in the Walmart with my mom, I was in Walmart with my mom getting a fishing license because I want to take my son fishing. I had my mask on, safety first, and had my mask on. But I guess he could tell I was looking fly that day. So he was rolling around pushing his cart, and then he pulled his mask down. I guess he wanted me to see how he looked and expected the same in return from me. He pulled his mask down and said, I like what I see. And me being me, I pretty much knew what he said, but I got to hear him and raise my mask, put my mask down and said, excuse me. And he said, oh, I like what I see. And so I kind of laughed and I said, thank you. And he walked off, pushed his cart on.
So it was like a failed opportunity.
A very much failed opportunity. Now, I don't know. I think if his intention was to, make a pass at me or whatnot, I don't know if he expected me to continue an engaging conversation or what, but I'm like, I returned your compliment. So now it's your turn to make whatever move you want to make.
Maybe he was just complimenting you, just to be nice.
Yeah.
Because, people love compliments.
I do. I love
compliments. Depending on who was coming from. You never know if that guy had a woman or somebody on the side.
Mentioning,
he probably thought that you had somebody because you're so dazzling.
Oh, that's another one we talk about. But mentioning maybe he had a woman. Maybe that's true because my mom, as I mentioned before, my mom was with me, and this showed me that she was just off standing back being nosy when we had the little exchange because she walked over and said, was he trying to talk to you? And so I told her what was said. She said, well, he probably got more than likely he got a woman because he had size 1 diapers in his cart.
See, I would have been like, those diapers could be for somebody's baby shower.
Yeah.
I had an ex that shopped for baby showers, and I'm like thinking, dude, you should have been inviting me. But
yeah. So you might wonder what was wrong with the way he approached me. Technically, nothing was wrong, but if his intention was more than to just give me a compliment, he, as Tam stated before, he failed at an opportunity by not furthering the conversation. So that's just one prime example.
It was a failed opportunity. You remember this weekend I called you and I was like, oh my goodness, I met this cutie on the elevator.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't ask for my number, but like when it was just he and I on the elevator, right? So as he was going up, I got out, he was going up and I could hear him, dang!
See, that's what I'm saying. So he obviously was, interested in at least saying, hey, or taking an opportunity to get your number or to engage in a conversation.
Yeah.
But he realized that either one,
that was so funny.
He was just saying dang because like dang, she fine.
I don't know what they dang.
Or he was like, dang man, I should have hollered at her. So what was wrong with that to me was he didn't have enough gall to say anything to you.
That's right.
So so another example. Now this is one that I really don't like. Because to me it says that the man is looking for me to say something to him, to jump things off. So I can't tell you how many times I've been in the store, Tam, and I'm shopping alone, guy is just staring at me. I'm shopping along. Somehow he ends up on the same aisle as me. You know, one time I was on one side of the produce looking at apples, and he was on the other side of the produce looking at apples.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, but he doesn't say anything. So I used to throw them a lifeline, and and just say hi. How you doing, and keep on. But one time I said, are you just gonna keep staring at me, or are you gonna speak to me?
I don't give lifelines.
And he took that, he started laughing, and we started talking.
Did y'all date?
No.
Oh, see, that was just a waste of time.
Girl. Mention a waste of time. I seen this meme, and I was just pointing it out to somebody else I was conversing with, you can say so.
So hold that thought, because I'm about to call somebody up.
Okay, so y'all, we're about to ask somebody about why men ghost, and this is a male, so.
I feel so sneaky. Hello. So, got a question. Ashley, what's the question again? Oh, about why guys ghost.
Yeah, why do guys ghost?
For good, like they ghost as in they're gone, you don't hear from them again.
Right, like after the conversation or the hangout, hook up or whatever, like the next day or next day or two.
Or after some months.
Right, no show, no call, no show.
For obvious reasons, I mean, they're just not that into you. Of course, that will be your first thought. Secondly, it was the hookup was good, and maybe the lady was wanting more, so that'll run them off.
Okay, so check this out.
The male situation changed. Maybe he met somebody else. I mean, and so it goes for that reason. For whatever reason, it's just easier to run away than to actually sit down and explain yourself for some people.
Okay, so would you consider this ghosting? Like y'all are having a good conversation, nobody's disagreeing, and you just back and forth, laughing, just vibing. And like the next day, both of y'all, hey, how you doing? Your day going well? Okay. Next day after that, nothing else. Couple of days later, after being ghosted for like 2 days, left on red, then he comes back. And then it's like a continued cycle. So is he like into this girl?
Stringing her along.
Or just stringing her along, or he got somebody that's on the side?
He's stringing all day. Matter of fact, he might, it looks more like to me that he's involved with somebody anyway. So it's just when it's convenient or when his time permits, then he'll re-engage with her. So yeah, he's definitely got something else going on. Bringing her along, like I said, or either he's in a relationship already or seeing somebody else.
Good point.
So, okay. So another part of this podcast,
Next question.
How do you approach women? And the reason I'm asking this is because I was telling Tam that I had this guy who was just like, hey, I like what I see. I don't think that's the best approach. So,
Well,
yeah.
So you don't think it's a what approach?
I don't think it's the best approach.
The best?
Yes.
Okay.
Because there's nothing wrong with it if you're going to continue with, okay, let's say he said, I like what I see. And I said, oh, okay. I said, thank you. And I don't know if he's expecting me to engage in the conversation, or I think he should continue the conversation because he did the icebreaker. I responded. So I'm thinking he has a missed opportunity if he walks away.
Yeah, he has opportunity, and I won't necessarily agree with you on that's not the best approach. I mean, it's not, but that's the first thing we see.
Right.
Like we see your appearance, so of course that's what's gonna catch us. We haven't talked to you yet. Like there are beautiful women out there, and like I said, I like what I see, and then I talk to her, and she an airhead, and I mean all that beauty is gone now. You know, so the first thing I see is how she carry herself and her look. And if I walk up and say, I mean, I wouldn't say I like what I see. You know,
So what would you say?
You look beautiful, you look nice, or whatever. But at that point, it is up to me if she, especially if she says thank you, and it's in a tone to where I know she appreciated it. Now,
Right.
it's up to me to keep the conversation going.
Right. In my opinion, I just think there's a lot of lack of boldness. And of course, no one likes rejection, but there's a lot of lack of boldness because I was just talking about how I've been in the store, before and just had men to stare at me, follow me around the grocery store, and sometimes I even throw them a lifeline, and say, are you gonna speak to me, or are you just gonna stare at me all that? I said in a nice, playful way, but sometimes I don't want to have to throw you a lifeline. It's up to me. And that's the reason why I said that.
Yeah, and you shouldn't have to. But also, even like with a woman like that, which some men would appreciate, again, you got to think of some of those guys are actually, I wouldn't call it being respectful. I mean, they like what they see, but maybe they're not available. Maybe they sit up and you are, I can't like, man, she looks good, she's beautiful, or fine, whatever they're thinking. But they also know they're not available as well.
That makes sense, because Tam did say earlier, maybe they're just giving you a compliment.
Right, it's a compliment, but they know they're not available. And I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with complimenting a woman, even if you're not available, just to, I mean, it brighten her day, make her day better,
That's true. Okay, all right. So, and I think, Tam may have asked you this, I can't recall, as far as the ghosting goes. So 1 second. So I know you said, oh yeah. So we spoke to another listener, and he said some men ghost because a woman might seem a little too thirsty.
That is absolutely true.
So as I asked him, what does it mean? What does it look like when a woman? How do you know a woman is too thirsty?
Communication is all. I mean, we all know that's very important, but it's got to be at a mutual pace. Like I shouldn't. Any woman who overextends herself as far as communication, constantly texting, constantly, hey, when we gonna hang out, when we gonna see each other, consistently doing things like that. That's just thirst, and it's a turnoff.
Yeah. So when you say constantly texting, so here's one thing that I like to do. Initially,
I don't take it as in constantly texting as in a way where I mean texting as in always trying to see you or come over, when you're really or not.
Oh yeah.
Just texting as far as talking, that's not thirst to me. That's just, some people like to talk more than others. We all know that. So there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm just saying the constant texting about hooking up or coming over or when we're gonna see each other or stuff like that.
No, I totally understand that. But I was gonna say, so this is one thing I like to do whenever I'm initially I don't know, get to know a guy, I go at his pace. So if he starts out texting me all the time, initially I'm kind of hesitant to do that. But then when I say, okay, well, maybe this is what he likes, this is what he wants, I will return it,
Right.
So I'm like, well, if you don't want a lot of text, don't text me a lot.
Exactly.
You know what? I can't
Yeah.
comment too much because I've been told that I would ghost or I leave people on red, and it's not intentionally. I'm not leaving anybody on ice. I just sometimes I forget.
Yeah, and that exactly what you said is the thirst. Like if there's a lot of texting going on and it's only one way, then that's the thirsty party and the whole deal. As far as the woman goes, if she's constantly texting, and he's only giving one word replies, or with being short, then, I mean, those are your signs right there.
Mhm.
Of course, more than 9 times out of 10, a dude is going to be the aggressor. So a dude texting a woman all the time, I mean, I'm sure y'all are used to it because they're trying. We're going to try, we're going to keep hitting you up, whatever. But a woman that's doing it, yeah, we look at that as thirsting. I mean, it is a turnoff.
But why can't it be like a two-way street? Why can't guys be considered as being thirsty too when they're constantly?
I guess because they're
Because just in life in general, how we was raised, a man was supposed to pursue a woman. You know, and I know that shouldn't be that way anymore. Things have changed. Don't get me wrong. We appreciate a woman who coming, but it's a difference. You can separate. It's a difference in thirst and someone who's just really showing interest. And it's just a conversation. It's a little different.
It's all about the conversation.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Well, thank you so much.
No problem.
All right, later.
All right, bye.
You got to be letting me know. You got to be letting me know.
I know.
He ain't supposed to know.
Okay, so I'm about to call my homegirl,
Okay.
and she do not want to be on the podcast. So
Okay. Look, I'm looking at that. Who's that? Can't see. No, we told them we were gonna be home people live.
oh,
Yeah. We want y'all to hear it real time.
okay. Well, I gave the notes. Yes, she's not available right now, but she'll call back.
Okay, so we did talking about ghosting. We did speak to a listener earlier. Well, we have a call.
Hey, hon. You sleep?
No, what? I'm up there.
Oh, working from home. That's the privileges.
I was up today.
So yeah, so we're just trying to get some suggestions, advice about
Okay.
we were talking about our bad experiences when guys approach us. So what's been some of your experiences with guys approaching you?
Okay, let me see. It's been so long. You don't get out much no. Let me think.
So I know recently, and Ashley was just telling me about hers, and this kind of how we got on the subject. So like I run into these guys, they want to approach me at the checkout in the store. And so the cashier is ringing my stuff up, right? And dude, like, where you from? What's your name and all this? I'm like, dude, 1897. 45, 47. He like, oh, you want me to pay for it? I'm like, dude, you trying to holler at me, right? And so he said, yeah, I got you. How much is it? Oh, I got 5 on. I'm like, dude, you serious? You serious? So, and you remember that time too. I think you were in a car with me.
At the gas station.
At the gas station.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, I gotta fill up. Yeah.
Yes, did.
Yeah.
For free.
Yeah. So help us out, girl. What you got?
I mean, just that stores in general, when they see, I'm looking for something with my child, like they'll just any opportune time, dude, they don't care. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I ain't had nobody to approach me with my boys. Well, they try to hit on me, and my nephew told one dude, if you try to holler at my auntie one more time.
No.
And Sean told me, he trying to holler at you. I said, no. Sean had told me his barber was trying to holler at me. I said, no. And he was like, no, I know. He was, but I'm glad that you didn't accept it, because he didn't even give us a discount on our cut.
My son, he would be excited though if somebody trying to holler at me in front of him.
Really?
Yes. He like, Mom, oh, you have a date?
Mama, who
You
is
have a
that?
date?
Mama, you know him? Who is
Yeah,
that?
ain't nobody got time for them questions. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
girl, let me see.
Okay.
Girl, I ain't no help right now.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So we were trying to, have you ever had any experience
With ghosting
with
or being
ghosting?
ghosted?
Have you ever ghosted or been ghosted?
I've ghosted somebody, yeah. Have I been ghosted?
You probably ghosted a
I
whole
can't
lot of
remember.
people.
Yeah, I think everybody has ghosted somebody, right?
Ashley,
Yeah.
you have?
I have, yeah. I hate to admit that because I feel like,
I don't. I hate to
karma,
admit it.
Because I
Ashley
like
said,
to-
everybody been ghosted.
because I like to think that I'm an upfront person, but sometimes it's better to just duck.
Oh, hey, Ashley. All right. Hey,
Hey, how you doing?
Ashley. Good.
So that's why I hate to admit that I have ghosted someone. I've never been, but I tell Tam, I'm like, I wait till I'm grown because I think I've been ghosted before. But it happens,
Yeah, but some guys don't get the point though. Like I didn't told them, what's up, I ain't really interested, and they keep calling. At that point, that's not ghost. So is they consider ghosting?
I agree with you. That's not.
I don't think that's ghosting because and that's basically what I've done. Like, look, I'm not sure about this, or I try to treat them as though we're friends and nothing more, and they still don't get it. And then that's when I'm like, you know what? He ain't making it easy. I got to hide.
You've already gave him. You already formed it.
What's that picture, that meme of Homer Simpson slowly backing into the bushes?
Yeah.
I just think overall though, I don't think men though will do at least give that courtesy.
I don't think they do. They just like this. Oh,
Yeah,
cut you out like real. I'm like, okay.
because as one person said before, it's so much easier to just with all the access today to just move on to the next one.
You like Ned?
Right. It's a vicious cycle, a game out here. Vicious.
Yeah. All right, hon. I ain't gonna hold you up. We'll catch up later.
Okay, good.
All right,
Bye.
Bye.
It's kind of fun, right?
Right. So as I was gonna say before, previously we spoke to someone about a male about ghosting. I think he was actually our very first male guest, or very first guest on the show. But it was it was before we started doing video, and it was just on Anchor.
Okay.
Yeah, he was the very first one.
Oh.
Yeah.
It ain't like we do it too often for me
I know.
to remember, but
Right. But I did mention Anchor and Spotify. You can find us on those, and Apple Podcasts. But so we asked him about why men ghost, and he stated some of his reasons were that number one, they're just not interested. And then he was like, he also made good points. He said, in this day and age, people don't really talk. There's not a lot of human interaction. Because I know so many people who are basically hermits who stay in their home. And so it's easy to move on to the next. And those are some great points when you think about it. And also, there's not a lot of meaningful conversation today. I want to pause and put a pin in it right here. That couldn't be further from a lie, even I've experienced, like, how is it you really trying to get to know somebody, or they're trying to get to know you, and you're not really having any conversation?
yeah. Well, some people dominate the conversation, and that's a turn off. And
I know,
then some
y'all, I'm
people
sorry
talk
if I ever
about-
done y'all that way. You see how I just did? I just did it on
You
purpose.
see
though.
her hand in my space,
Oh, I'm sorry.
and you leaning too. That's why I'm all the way over here in the corner.
No, because
Back on
I've been over
topic.
here like this.
Back on the topic.
Mhm.
So, dang, you forget what I was.
Some people like dominate the conversation. That's a turn
Yeah,
off.
okay, yeah, and then to like, when the conversation starts dragging with the other person, that means, dude, you talking too much, or this is not entertaining.
Right. But what do you do though when the other person ain't talking? You know what? Sometimes just for that.
Bye,
Look,
I'll talk to you later.
that's true. sometimes just for the heck of it, I just make up stuff. I'm like, I know I gotta be on this person early, but you know, I'm gonna do it until they say something. But then,
I ain't got that kind of time to be wasting somebody else's time or wasting
What is-
mine, because I can be like.
And it's another caller?
Yeah.
okay, y'all, this is
yeah.
another one, another.
Hello.
Hey, buddy,
Hey, how are you, Dave? Okay.
I'm good. Me and Ashley are just sitting up chopping it up.
Okay.
Hi.
Trying to get some information,
Okay.
trying to solicit some information from you.
A male's perspective.
Yeah.
So, real quick, so we want to ask you about ghosting and why men ghost, okay? And you can be totally open and honest with us. That's what we're looking for.
Okay.
So,
I would say, men ghost women for multiple reasons.
okay.
And I speak from my own personal experiences is that, when you first meet a person, some people, they camouflage, they really are.
Mhm.
Mm.
Meaning that they, my mom would always tell me, hey, a sheep can only, I'm sorry, I guess a sheep can only hide who they are for a period of time.
Mhm.
Right.
And so you have some women, they'll go and they'll paint this picture like, hey, that they're caring, they're loving, they're all these different things. They have all these great traits initially, but then once you get into a relationship, it shifts. What I mean by it shifts meaning is it's kind of like, Miggy and I talked about, some of this before where,
Mhm.
you have some women will, hey, they may disappear for hours or something. And you call and just say, hey, how you doing? Where are you? They become defensive.
Mhm.
You may have some that, just say if, you already have a child and you date somebody who is not the child's biological mother is, they get offended if you spend time with that child or spend time with them. You have some that, I guess they are very, very materialistic.
Mhm.
But they're very, very materialistic is every time they feel like if you go out and you get paid, they feel like they get paid as well.
That's right.
And you have some that's just, when you look at a person, I just feel like the periodness that's in their heart changes eventually. And it's one of those that, and I say period in their heart, meaning that when they first start dating, when you first start hanging out, the things they told you they were, they really are not.
Mm-hmm.
And so at that point, from a man's perspective, men desire women desire love, men desire trust and respect. And a lot of women along the way, they lose their respect for men because, again, they jealous of that person's child. They become materialistic. They will go and see how you put this one politically correct here.
Mm-hmm.
They believe in seeing other people outside of relationships.
Okay.
And I guess the biggest thing is for me is I look for a person who is regal. Regal is who's unique and confident in herself. Most men don't want a woman who don't have any confidence. Who is when I say confidence, meaning that
She insecure?
well, insecure is one way, but they don't have anything professional, don't have any professional goals.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So they look for, they're stuck in what they do today, and that's as far as they want to go.
They're comfortable.
Yes, I don't mean to be spotty here. I'm working on something, but they're really, comfortable in what they do today and don't have an outlook on the future.
Right. So you're saying that some reasons why men ghost is because the woman wasn't who she said she was in the beginning.
Absolutely.
So do you think it's right to just ghost or give them a heads up that, this ain't working out?
Or to talk to them and tell them this is what you see. So maybe any misunderstandings could be cleared up.
You can do that, but at that point, it's like I was telling some of my managers here. I bought a piece of paper, and once you lose, trust in a person loses respect. It's like a balled up sheet of paper. You can never ever put that paper back to the original state. And so the same thing with the trust or the respect standpoint is it can never ever be repaired or restored.
Have a question.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Have you ever ghosted Tamika?
Absolutely not. No, Richard.
I'm just messing with you. We pick with each other all the time. But no, I would 100% feel where you're coming from, but
Well,
go ahead.
I mean, again, I look at, like I said, I can share, just life situation with me. The young lady I was dating back in North Arkansas. It was one of those that, I provided her a platform initially to come to Central Arkansas when I moved. And, and at that point, hey, she felt like that she was comfortable in what she was doing today. So at that point, hey, I quit communicating with her.
Yeah, you realize y'all's goals weren't aligned.
Yes, so it was one of those that I can either bring myself down professionally to try to align with her, or I move on.
Yeah.
Right. I think in your situation, it sounds like she had plenty of time to prove you wrong. But after a while, you was like, no, this is who she is.
Absolutely.
Okay, because I just think, let's say that the reason was, I don't know, something other than she's stagnant or she's comfortable where she is. And so you came to a conclusion. I think sometimes, depending on what the conclusion is, it's the reason why you're thinking about ghosting her. She should be given an opportunity to be heard.
Well, yes, but I think, again, a lot of people, once you bring them in and you explain to them, A, B, C, D, E, at that point they conform to what you told them initially that you wanted.
That's true.
So that only prolongs things.
That's true. And yeah, in some instances that is very true. I guess I'm just thinking, for example, and this is a very minor, coming up, I'm one of the most, down to earth people that you'll meet, but coming up, many people thought, would assume that either I'm mean or I'm stuck up, and none of that is true, so it just took people getting to know me or having a conversation with me. But I'm sure it's nothing that trivial, but that was just a small example of why I think ghosting can be detrimental to the person who's doing the ghosting.
No, I don't. I guess I look at things with a different lens. Because at the end of the day, if you're not aligned, you're never gonna work.
That's true. That's true.
So again, I don't see how it would be detrimental to stay in something versus you go ahead and say, hey, okay, so we need to call it quits and move on.
I totally agree. I agree. Like I said, with hopefully it'll be like, what you do, you've had time to see this person in action. A person's actions speak louder than their words, right? So you're right. If you see that their actions are not aligned with you and what your goals are, then yeah, there's no need in trying to, push around a square peg in a round hole.
Yeah, but
Absolutely. But I'm sorry.
I think if you're dating somebody, that's a little different with just ghosting. I think that over time it's built up and both people know that it's gonna happen.
Well, but I'm a firm believer when a person shows you who they are, then
that's who they are.
To show you who they are.
Believe them. That's true. Believe them. That's right. And honestly, even at 37, well, I'll be 38 in October.
No, you just too old.
Whatever. Even at my age, I'm just not getting to the point of just like, just accepting people for who they are and believe in them and not trying to see things through a rose-tinted glass.
Yeah.
Or more of a hopeful, glass half full.
Right. Because we go through that honeymoon stage and just like he was just saying, you know, as time go on, you really see that person's true colors and they're not that person who they initially thought they were.
You see their real intentions.
Right, you see their real intentions.
So I guess my question to both of you is, if you look at things that way, I know you said, hey, you know, bring it to them and explain to them, hey, you know, we having these type of issues, how do we level set? So do you think if you bring that person in and you level set with that person, then at that point, do you think that you could potentially start settling?
Well, it depends. It's a two-edged sword because it depends on what the issue was initially. Now, if you two really, you know, love one another and it's just, these are little things that you can actually work on and you actually want to be with them, it's not settling. But if you're on the fence as to whether you want to be with them and then you have that talk, I think you might be then settling.
Yeah, I think you do when you still have that mindset, this is what they were then, and I know that they can be this person again.
Right,
I don't think they were ever that person.
right.
What you get now is who they are.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Mimi just talking too much.
That's what I mean about how people camouflage.
Yeah.
Right? They know what's that person.
Yeah.
But they led you to believe they were that person.
Right. Right.
Hmm.
Ding, 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 ding.
Hey, it's a rough game out here. It's a rough game out.
It's not about it being rough. We just, as humans, everybody desire love without desire respect. And we end up just settling for people who, you know, like Tyler Perry says best, who people meant to be in your life for a reason, we'll let the truth and try to make them a lifetime.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Oh my goodness.
That's true. But on the other coin, though, Tyler Perry also mentioned, you know, we'll have this 80% and we're missing that 20. And then we'll let that 80% go because all that 20 over there looking good because we don't have it.
True, but I mean, if a man, I mean, if he's a man, he's not gonna lose the 80% for the 20%.
That's right.
That's true. That's right. You know what?
If he's truly a man. Now, if he's a boy in a man's body, then yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's a lot of that going on, right?
Again, you know, and I say this all the time to my sisters is that, you know, just because a male is 21 older than 21 years old does not mean he's a man.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. I don't care if he's 60. Sometimes, unfortunately, he's still immature.
So
Can be.
Still want to play games. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Thank you,
All
buddy.
right. As one of my friends the other day said, a male friend of mine who he was like, Ashley, sometimes we just stupid. Sometimes men just stupid. There's no excuse or reason for what we do. We just stupid.
Women too now. Some of us, we just all left field. For real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that is true. I mean, sometimes there is no reason for what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Selfishness, I would want to call it.
No, I wouldn't think it's being selfish.
To a
It's just
certain degree, I think
sometimes
so.
we haven't grown up yet.
When you're
And
not considering other people's.
because we're all, I think men and women, we're all in this day and age, we're always thinking, oh, there's something else better out there because we have all this access to see what looks better.
Man, I'm gonna keep that 80% at any given day.
Well, and that is that's absolutely true. Because we know that 80% will always be there for us.
Exactly.
Then when you hop, if you hop over there to what's glittering because you're not getting that 20% at home, you're gonna be miserable because you're only getting 20% of what you
Y'all can
need.
work towards that 20%. I'll take them baby steps. We're gonna work through this one. We're gonna work through this one, huh?
Oh yeah, we gonna work through. I think she's throwing you some hints.
All right, we'll catch up with
Thank you
later.
so much.
Hey, you all have a great weekend.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
All right, bye-bye.
It's a good one. It's a good jealous one.
No, you be recording. But I don't think they heard. No, I don't think they heard it.
Yeah.
You were mumbling.
No.
You were mumbling. Yeah.
You gotta check it out.
I'll check it out. All right, y'all. So again, back to I'm gonna try to remember this. So one of the people that I called could not be. He was busy with his family. So this is what he.
Wrap it up.
Yeah. Real quick, this is what he gave us. Number one, the person's not interested. That's the reason why he or she will ghost. I think I gave you this earlier. Oh yeah, he said there's no substantive interactions. That goes back to communications. I think there's no other way to get to me here better than a good conversation and communication. Other than that, I'm just like, it's like pulling teeth.
Mhm.
And too thirsty. He said one way to determine if a woman for him is if she is too thirsty, if she's always talking about sex. I agree, but disagree at the same time because some people just
Talking
like
about
very
sex or just
sexual.
Complimenting him,
Yeah.
how sexy they are.
Right, how sexy they are. Their professional life is busy, and or he is entertaining other people, even if things are pretty good or he likes the other person that he's ghosting.
Well, I think he was saying, he mentioned personal life is when he was referencing that he's not ghosting. It's just the fact that his personal life, professional life, I'm sorry, was making it appear as if he wasn't interested in. It really is, his job just requires a little bit more of his attention.
I think with him, it is professional and personal. That'll keep people away or busy. And I think some people are sometimes emotionally unavailable. Honestly, I didn't think that was a real thing.
And
I
know this.
but yeah, I know it's real now that some men are just emotionally unavailable. They'll think they're ready for
emotional unavailable.
Right. Think you're ready for something. And then when things start rolling, you're like, I'm not sure I'm ready for this. Let me fall back. But me, I'll respect you way better if you talk to me about it.
The difference between men and women is I think sometimes men get too used to women lying about keeping it real with them. And so like when they start keeping it real with some women, they just spaz out.
Yeah.
But I want you to be honest from good, bad, and ugly. If you think it's going to hurt my feelings, don't. I think I got tough skin anyway, but not too much will disappoint me. I want my surprises up front.
Look, even if it does disappoint me, even if it does hurt me, I find it so admirable and respectful when you step to me like a man and tell me what's up.
Let me make my own decisions.
Let me make my own decisions. If you just want to have some fun, well, okay, maybe I just want to have some fun too.
And I think you kind of pull that maturity from a woman just by her conversation and how she responds to other things. Don't think that since this one woman, told you to keep it real and then she couldn't handle the truth, don't mean that we are all that way. Because most of the time, I care, but I respect your honesty more.
Right, exactly. Or some men will get used to women acting like it's okay if the men treat them this way, ghost them and then still talk to them after some months. No, like I'm a real grown woman.
Like you said, that first payback real.
That payback real. All right, well, that's it. You have anything to say, Tam?
No.
All right.
Look, please forgive me, friends, for like calling you and putting you on the spot like that. I know that some of you probably would have backed out if I had told you that I was going to use your voice on this podcast, but you love me anyway.
Yeah, she still love you.
So what's it called? When you do something in advance and then ask for forgiveness later, I always screw up these.
I don't know.
I'm saying.
I don't know.
Somebody know what I'm saying.
Yeah, that one. So thank you so much. And I don't have any quote. I'm just gonna say something that's common. You have a quote? Well, hey.
Yes, no, I don't have quotes.
Oh, okay. I think that bothers her. I'm sorry. That's so rude and
disrespectful, actually.
Isn't it? It is disrespectful, and I'm all about respect, so I apologize for disrespect.
I don't accept your apology.
Well, F you then.
You too.
All right, y'all. Reach one, teach one. Bye.